You can finally stop punishing yourself for going down the TikTok rabbit hole or watching YouTube videos for hours. Now, you can finally use that to speed up your manifestation, have it happen quickly and easily. Come on, I'll show you. I appreciate you subscribing right down at the bottom, and let's get you manifesting fast. I caught myself going down the TikTok rabbit hole today, y'all. And I was just like so curious and looking up so much information on there. I was looking up things about the hurricane that happened. I was looking up things about universal history. I was looking up things about time. I was really into it. I was on a rampage. And I thought to myself for a second, I was like, a while back, I would have seen this differently. I would have seen this as I wasted time. That was my old paradigm around scrolling on TikTok as like wasting time. But then I was thinking to myself, I was like, why in the world would I see this as a bad thing when I'm getting so much out of it? I went on there because I was curious about these things. So I went down the rabbit hole because of my curiosity, and curiosity is a high vibrational frequency. So I got a lot out of it. I learned a lot, and that matters. So I shifted my description on that, where I started to see it as I'm fulfilling my curiosity, and this is happening for a good reason. I'm seeing this all for a really good reason, and this is going to work out for me, and I'm going to use this because this is happening for my benefit. I'm watching this for my benefit. I'm getting so many great things from seeing this. Do you see how those two paradigms are different? Those descriptions are different. So how are you judging yourself when you're on TikTok or on YouTube watching hours of videos? Is that you? We can be honest here. So the next time you do that, take a look. First of all, I want you to take a look at this. Why did you get on there in the first place? Because if you're one of those people, and it's okay, I was like this at a point in time too, where you get on these social media apps and you're on there for hours. And this is like every day it's happening. So you want to take a look at why you're doing that. Are you doing that to escape something? Are you doing that because you had a stressful day and you just want to escape everything? Because if that's why you're doing it, it's time to take a look at the limiting belief that you got going on there. Why do you believe that you need to escape your reality? But other than that, if it's just like for me today, I went down the rabbit hole on there. Like, I don't do this every day, but on this particular day, yes. And I may have done it another time this week. No, this week just started. So far though, last week and this week. And so on this day though, I got to see it differently and use it to my benefit, because the only reason you being on TikTok or on YouTube and scrolling through these videos would delay your manifestation is because you judge yourself for doing the action. That's why the action itself is not delaying your manifestation. It's the perception that you have around it, the description that you gave the action, that can delay your manifestation. So if you use that action to your benefit and get the positive reason and the positive effect of it, then it speeds up the manifestation process. I know some people are like, social media is a bad thing and it's just getting worse and all of this stuff, all this fear talk about social media, but I believe social media is a really good thing. I've learned so much on TikTok. It has been crazy. And for whatever reason, the algorithm on TikTok is that algorithm. It's not like YouTube, it's not like Instagram, but it just hits. Am I wrong? Even if you go on TikTok to get a good laugh, you're still benefiting from that. Isn't that putting you in a higher vibrational frequency? You feeling good, having that laughter, being excited? So amplify that. And the way you can amplify that is stop judging yourself for being on the app. Start appreciating Show appreciation for having that action happen where you got to get that laugh and watch your favorite comedy people on TikTok or YouTube. Do that and see how you feel, because you'll notice that when you start to do this, more than likely you're going to end up not going on there so much. And the times when you do go on there, you're going to feel lighter. You're going to feel more carefree, more at ease, as opposed to you doing this thing that is hindering you and making you feel bad because you did it because of some belief that you have that this is a block in your manifestation. Now, you could always, delete TikTok and YouTube and Instagram, but that doesn't really solve anything per se, because this is more of a limiting belief that's going on. So when you can identify the limiting belief, you won't have to delete it. You can use it in a purposeful way and amplify your vibrational frequency instead of lowering it. You can use it like that, and you can use anything in your reality like that. It's all your perception. You label these things, you give all this stuff descriptions. So it is no wonder why when you get off of TikTok, you're like, man, I just wasted some time. Because that's the description you gave it. So give it a new description. Start saying, man, I got so much out of this. That was awesome. Give it that description. You will get your vibrational frequency will be higher. The other one, it'll be lower. Which one do you want? You choose. And tell me if this has ever happened to you. Have you ever been just going about your day or whatever, and then you get some inspired action that comes through, and it tells you to just go watch a certain video or type something in on TikTok or YouTube? Has that happened to you? Because that's happened to me before, where I'll get inspired action to type in a certain keyword. And when I type that keyword in and look at the video that comes up, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's what I needed to hear. That's what I was meant to hear. So I did that. I had that happen to me with this certain Bashar video. And it was the one where he was talking about winning the lottery. So I mean, I've seen this video before, but that particular day, it guided me to that particular video. And from that video, I believe I made a video inspired by that video. So it worked out to my advantage. It works for a benefit, y'all. And another thing about your inspired action that comes through, because I feel like you needed to hear this part. And your inspired action, sometimes the action that it gives you may not necessarily be what you think it is. So, for example, I got an inspired action to look up Inception. Look up the movie Inception. Okay. And I was excited about that. I was like, oh my gosh, I remember that movie. It was such a good movie. So I was excited about it. I was like, well, dang, yes, I'm going to watch it and everything. So I went on to Google and I looked up Inception. But then it wasn't like under any of the subscriptions that I'm with, like Prime Video and all that. So it wasn't on anything. So I was like, oh man, dang. But under it, there were a list of other videos, and Interstellar was there, and it stood out to me. I was like, I saw 5 minutes of that video of that movie before, but I never finished the movie. So I was like, well, this is a good time to finish the movie. So in that moment though, my inspired action just got me to move, because I would have never looked up Interstellar. Like if that would have came to my mind, I would have just been like, oh, okay. Because I mean, I've seen some of the movie before. I just didn't finish it. Interstellar. That's what I meant. So I've seen the Interstellar 5 minutes of it before, but just never the whole movie. But Inception, I love that movie. And so it got me to move because your higher self, it is giving you inspired action. And it comes through as you being excited, you being happy, you feeling in this high vibrational state. So that will get you to move. So that's all you got to do, y'all. If it comes through, and it seems like, well, go with it. And also, if you're feeling excited about it, go for it. Like, it's so easy to follow your intuition. It really is. And I feel like a lot of people make it more complicated than it really is. But the main thing is you're going to be following your excitement. Now, it can be filtered through it gets filtered through your belief system. So sometimes it may feel like, I don't know, because you have a limiting belief. So if that happens, just shift your limiting belief. Identify what it is. What's the craziest thing that will happen if I follow my intuition? Ask yourself that and see what comes up for you. Because it's guiding you, y'all. It's guiding you. That's what I teach my clients and my students. Because when you can understand how to follow your intuition and follow your excitement and follow the fun, then you're going to realize this manifestation stuff, this conscious manifestation stuff is easy. Because you're always, always, always on the path. You can't get off the path because you're on the path. And something that came up for me today, though, and I wrote this down, y'all. I had a block of inspired thought that came through, and I wrote like a page of, it was a page about time and manifestation and shifting to parallel realities. And the thing that came to mind, and for my millennials, you'll know what I'm talking about. So imagine this. You remember the DVD players and the VCRs. So you have that. Think about the buttons. You have a play button, you have a backward button, you have a forward button, and you have a pause button. Now, we are going to take away the pause button, and we're going to take away the backward button. Okay, so now we have two buttons left. We have the play button, and we have the fast forward button. This is how the conscious manifestation works, because you only have these two buttons. You're never going back. You're always moving forward. You're never going, if you feel like, oh my gosh, man, I was doing good with my manifestation, but then I just got mad and because somebody made a comment. Okay, you're not going back. You're still going forward. But here, let me explain a little more. So think about it like this. The play button is always happening. Okay, so you're always moving. You're always going forward. Now, what happens is when you have a limiting belief that comes up for you, that fast forward button, because let's think, we have the fast forward button, it can go it can go forward very slow. We can have it go super fast. Like, what speed do you want it to go at? So when you have a limiting belief, it's basically kind of like in slow-mo, but you're still going forward, but just in slow-mo. And once you shift the limiting belief, then you're going to go faster. So then you're going in fast mode. And then as you're on this path and you keep on just amplifying your vibrational frequency, so you're embodying the version of yourself. You feel excited because you're manifesting abundance. You feel happy. You have the beliefs that align with you having all this abundance. You're going fast, times 10, times 20, times 30, times 40, times 50. You're going fast. But the point is, you're always on the path and you're always moving. You can move in slow-mo or you can move really fast, but you're going forward. Does that make sense? I appreciate you watching this video, and I want you to comment right down below. What was the biggest breakthrough that you got from this video? And I'll see you in the next one.